Let's start off with the news that Julian Araujo is set for a loan move as Barcelona eyes right back reinforcements. Well, here's the thing. Um, the preseason is about to start, and Barcelona right now don't have a right back. And what's happening is that there already is a predetermined bias that Araujo is from the MLS, and he might not be that good. Well, the thing is, because you don't have a right back right now, it's not a good idea to have a predetermined bias. So what Xavi has to do is he has to go into the preseason with a clear head. Last season, Barcelona they didn't know what Balde was gonna do, and Jordi Alba was their main guy. Yes, the board was putting pressure on Xavi and everybody else that they wanted to sell Jordi Alba, get him off the wage books and everything, and that's why they had a good look at Balde. So with Julian Araujo, what they gotta do is let the guy do what he can do. Now it's understandable that Xavi might be looking for a defensive fullback. The reason for that is that Balde is a more attacking fullback on the left. So obviously, to form that back three, you need a more defensive sort of a fullback. But then there's news that Xavi is also looking for somebody like Joao Cancelo. Now, Joao Cancelo is not a defensive fullback. He's more of a guy who tucks inside and then he moves forward and he likes to be near the opponent's box. Now, if you remember at the start of last season at City, Guardiola was starting with Cancelo, but Manchester City were conceding a lot of goals. So he started experimenting with players. He brought in Rico Lewis, would tuck in and form a double pivot with Rodri. But Rico Lewis was also, he wasn't that defensive. He was more of a creative attacking fullback. So eventually, Guardiola had to settle on John Stones, and that's when they started, winning, and they just became unstoppable. Now at Barcelona, the formation is slightly different. At City, they played with three midfielders, and the fourth one was John Stones, who was actually a defender. At Barcelona, they actually play with four proper midfielders. Frankie, Busquets, Pedri, and Gavi. So Gavi becomes the inverted forward who tucks in, and he forms the fourth guy. So at Barcelona, things are going to be slightly different, and you can actually afford to have an attacking fullback on the right as well as on the left, because you're playing four midfielders, and one of them can stay back and form a back three, and that could be Frankie De Jong, and that could be Oriol Romeo if Barca are able to sign him, which it looks like they will be able to. So my take on this is that until Barcelona don't sign a fullback, and we're not sure if they'll be able to because of the financial fair play situation. So until that time, let's go into the preseason and back Julian Araujo, and let's see what he can do. He's a young guy; he might surprise us like Alejandro Balde did. And while we're talking about fullbacks, another player who's back is Sergino Dest. Well, what happened last time around was that Barcelona was playing a traditional 4-3-3 formation. Now Barcelona play a 3-4-3 formation. So it's much more defensively covered. And because Sergio Dest is also an attacking fullback, but this time around, you have that position covered. And so this is the perfect time to actually try him out as well. And, you're up against Juventus, you're up against Real Madrid, you're up against Arsenal in the preseason. So this is the perfect time to actually, give him another shot. And he just might cut it this time. You never know. All right, next up, you got Sergio Roberto. He's got the captain's armband. And, the thing is that he might be a great guy, but he's not going to be playing. He's not, let alone starting, uh, unless two or three people get injured. This guy's not even going to feature for Barcelona. So we got to see, why is he still in the team? And the reason for that is that, last year Barcelona um, didn't have, squad depth. So he was renewed as a request from the coach. That's what Laporta said in an interview last year. And, the guy, he's 31 years old, and that's not that old. So if Barcelona actually put him on the market right now, uh, my guess is the Saudis will come and, give him an offer. And because, he's still got a year left on his contract, uh, the thing is, probably gonna get an offer of around 10 or 15 million. Well, 15 million is stretching it a bit, but even if it's around 10 million, that 10 million right now is really, really important for Barcelona, because what they can do is they can put that money into, they need another midfielder, because if Pedri gets injured, you've got Gundogan, but you need somebody like Lo Celso, or maybe even Gabri Vega. And if you can put money and get Gabri Vega, uh, you've got a young guy, you know, and you're looking for a more future-oriented team, and the guy's gonna get going from the start. So that's it, guys. Hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications, and see you next time.